Hi, it's Parmdeep Vadesha here. I'm with my friend Sue Alkington.
Yeah.
And we're here in Birmingham at Sue's barn. It's beautiful, as you can see. It's a beautiful day as well. And I was passing through Birmingham today. I've just done a skydive yesterday. I know Sue's done quite a few of those.
I did.
And
I used to be taller. It's good. No, go on.
And so we were just sort of catching up on the phone, and I was just telling Sue that I'd done this skydive. And Sue said, "Oh, I've made 50k this morning from one of my refurbs." I said, 50k, not bad for a morning's work. So I thought I'd pop in and see how she's doing. And while we're here, I thought we'd record a little video. And if you don't already know what Sue's into, she's really into refurbs. She's a bit of a sort of a refurb queen, I guess, in our circles. And
So they say.
well, I say, I think
okay.
you're certainly very good at what you do. Now, one thing I really wanted to kind of talk about is, Sue, you've got this beautiful barn property here.
Yeah.
And you worked in the civil service for how many years?
35 years.
Okay, and you were on what sort of salary, if you don't mind me asking?
£26,000 a year, and I was a high performing manager, and that was it. That was my top line by the time I left.
That was your sort of job side of things. Now,
yeah.
I can't see how that would have allowed you to afford something like this.
It didn't.
Okay, so what allowed you to do that, and how?
My salary allowed me to live in maybe a 3-bedroom semi in a much more residential area, and God knows there's nothing wrong with that. But if I aspired to something like this, because I was actually born in this area, I'm a country girl, and I aspired to this. And this came about through refurbishment that I did for 20 years whilst I was working in the civil service.
Was it one big 20-year refurbishment?
I wish. No, it was 9. It was 9 over a 20-year period. But I used to buy a dump, do it, sell it, buy a dump, do it, sell it. And it's the classic worst house, best street scenario.
Yeah.
And I used that methodology for 20, 25 years. And then I suddenly thought, why aren't you doing this for a living? Because this makes you more money than any job you've ever done. And I had a light bulb moment. We go into that in other places at other times as to how I came to be full-time in property. But yeah, I do it full-time now, and it is that activity that meant I could come and live here.
So is it something that you have to be almost like a builder or that type of person to do yourself? I mean, what's your background? Have you got like a really DIY sort of a background?
Yeah, I'm very hands-on. Not as hands-on now as I was. I've done bricklaying, I've done plastering.
But you don't need to be to do the refurbs. You can
I'll build
find
your garden more, but you know what? I do that because I enjoy it. You don't need to have all that. You need to have some managerial skills. You need to have an eye for good deal. You need to be very personable. You need to be able to deal with builders. Basically, keep a contract tight, keep a schedule bang on, and you can make money. I say easily. No, that's not true. You can make a very decent living working as much as you want to. That's the key.
Yeah.
You work as much as you want to.
Or not want to.
Or not
That's the
want
case,
to.
maybe.
I do what I do because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do what I do.
So this deal that you've done, where we were talking on the phone earlier on, so you've done 50k on that. Now,
Yeah.
the climate, we all know the way things are, and there's lots of talk out there in property of people. You read on forums, for example, people are like, "Oh, well, I'm struggling to raise finance and don't quite know what to do." And in the market, what if I get a property and I can't sell it on? Well, you've done it really well. You've got an investor on board. You've done a deal.
Yep.
Do you want to walk us through that and tell us how that came about? How long did it take?
People know that I work very closely with a lady called Maxine Hussain, who also will be with us in June.
At the Underground Investors
Yeah,
Summit.
she will. She'll be there in June. She'll be there with me. We work as a bit of a team. Maxine tends to seek out the investors, and she does a lot of sourcing of the property. We find a property that's suitable and right for some sort of refurbishment. We offer it to the investor. The investor stumps up the money. We introduce the investor to financiers. We basically sort out the whole deal. We package it up and we present it to the investor. They give us some money. I go in. I do the refurbishment end to end. We give them the keys back 3 to 4 months later, hopefully with something. I'm disappointed if it's not at least a 30% profit. That's what I want to return. That's what I want to give them back. 30% profit. What we get from it, we discuss that with the investor. Each deal is a little different.
So this particular one, what was unique about that? What made you go for that one?
It was an extremely good house. There was absolutely nothing structurally wrong with the house. It was desperately dated. It was a chap in his early 60s, probably looked as it looked in 1973, something like that. Walked in, nothing wrong with it. Go through it, hot knife through butter, which we did. It now looks super duper smart. It's very chic, it's very modern, and it's just sold for over £50,000 more than we bought it for. So there you go.
That's 3 months worth of work?
3 months worth, yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
And so you just need to keep doing those deals as whenever you need money, you just get the deal, do it up, sell it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't want to work for a bit.
It's what I've done all my life. That's what I do, and that's how I've made chunks of money.
It's great.
Rather than a trickle, big chunks of the big chunks that afforded me this lifestyle and enabled me to retire and work as much or as little as I want. They came from the refurbishment. They came from all the projects that I've done. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think one of the big reasons for me of wanting to really emphasise what Sue's doing is whenever I meet people looking to get into property, the view is always, I want to get into property, how do I buy lots of buy-to-lets? That's always the mentality of people who are very new to it, because they think, I want to make cash flow, I've got to get the buy-to-lets and I've got to build up a portfolio. But in your case, what you've done is you've got the lifestyle, except you've got the cash flow in big lump sums from your sales, and you have done buy-to-lets as well. So the lump sums, I guess, allow you to go and buy buy-to-lets.
Yeah, and they allow you to pay off pieces of your buy-to-lets if you want, or buy some more buy-to-lets. We actually do, Maxim and I run a refurbishment course. We do a refurbishment workshop, and the last quarter of the refurbishment workshop is what to do with the property when you've refurbished it. Sometimes it isn't appropriate to sell it for a number of reasons. It is far more beneficial to refinance it, keep it, and rent it out.
Yeah.
But you can take money out of the property and keep it, or you can sell it. There's half a dozen ways of approaching what you want to do with a property when you've actually finished the project. You can utilise it in lots of different ways, depending on what you want it to do for you.
Yeah, completely agree. So I know at the Underground Investors Summit you're going to be there.
We are.
You're going to be sharing what you're doing in property at the moment.
Shall.
And one thing I'm going to get Sue, well, several things I'm going to, Sue's very kindly agreed to do. She's going to be giving her refurbishment templates away. So if you're looking at a project and you're not sure whether it can be refurbished for a big profit, Sue's got a great template that she uses to assess deals. You're going to be giving away the packs that you give to investors to get them to lend you the money.
Yeah, so people can, it helps people see how deals are structured.
Because if you don't get that right, the investor's going to look at the way you've presented the information. If it's not presented correctly, they might not be so eager to invest.
You may not look that professional, and you may end up doing refurbishment. It may end up costing you. You have to structure it correctly, and we'll be sharing that with people about how to make sure that you can go into these things. How to make sure that everybody comes out with some money. You don't want to stop work. You don't want to stop work for dozens of idiots in a managerial position and then go and work for one great big idiot, which is yourself. You want to make sure that when you're going into a deal, that not only is it beneficial for the investor, vastly beneficial for the investor, you've got to make something out of it too, and you have to know how to structure it. We'll be revealing the golden rules about how to do and not do that very thing.
It's very, very important.
It is very, very, very important.
I've worked with lots of investors, and I think that is the key thing, to structure it.
Yeah.
And it's individual as well. Different investors want different things.
Of course it is.
You structure it in different ways. So it's going to be fascinating to kind of hear your story, and it's amazing since we've kind of started, we've got to know each other, the great strides that you've made in property, and the amazing things that you've done. It's fantastic. It's been amazing watching you.
And I'm sure it's not anything peculiar to maybe me or any of the others. I wasn't the only one that came out of the course 3 years ago and has been very successful. It's the opportunity's there. There's never been a better time. The opportunity's there. It's available. There's nothing particularly special about me. I'm just a bit stubborn and I'm a bit dogmatic. And if you've got those two qualities, you're in. You're absolutely in.
Brilliant. Great. It's a great time to be doing what Sue's doing. Just to conclude, you've got many, many deals out there.
Yeah.
Far more than you can ever probably do yourself. Just learn what Sue's done, which is get other people's money to buy the property, so you don't even need to do it yourself. Learn how to get a lifestyle like this, where you can sit and relax and have a cup of tea and enjoy yourself on a nice bright day. And Sue's going to be revealing all of that. So come and see us at June Underground Investors Summit if you want to know more.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm
Sue.
looking forward to it as well. See you there.
See ya.